Meghan McCain attempted to take Senator Bernie Sanders to task over what she characterized as anti-Semitic remarks made by progressive members of Congress. The framing of this question is ridiculous. We are going to unpack it, but first, let's take a look.
Senator Sanders, you are the godfather of the squad. You are hyper-progressive socialist, and you're talking about social justice before it was cool. But it feels like the squad today has moved even to the left of you. How is it for you to stand by everything AOC, Rashida Talib, and Ilhan Omar have said and done, particularly when it comes to Israel and talking about from the river to the sea and the extermination of Israel as a right to exist? Or do you think the movement, which you started, has moved away from what you envisioned?
Well, Meghan, first of all, I don't believe that's what they're saying. And second of all, it's not my job to have to defend every member of Congress any more than it is their job to defend every statement that I make. I think the folks in the progressives in the House are doing a very good job in standing up for working families. It's not my job to comment on everything that any member of the House says. Any more it is for them to comment on what I say.
I think Senator Sanders handled that question perfectly, but let's keep it real. The point of talking about this is to unpack the framing of the question, starting with the most outrageous. I mean, what is right with the question? Because I mean, she totally mischaracterized what progressive lawmakers had to say about the Israeli government's aggression toward Palestinians in the month of Ramadan. And in Gaza, in East Jerusalem, Sheikh Jarrah, like totally mischaracterized what members of the squad had said about that.
Are you implying that Rashida Talib never said that Israel should be exterminated?
No one said Israel should be exterminated.
I'm gonna have to fact check that. No, I don't think they said that. That's insane. That is insane. That's an Alex Jones question. What are you talking about? You can paraphrase. You can do that sort of thing. We sometimes engage in a little bit of light hyperbole. That's crazy.
I mean,
to a senator.
And look,
what are the good ones?
Representative Ilhan Omar was, I mean, corporate Democrats wrote her a strongly worded letter condemning her because she talked about, investigations into war crimes committed by various groups, whether it's the US government, the Taliban, the Israeli government, Hamas, and people were like, oh, she mentioned Hamas and Israel in the same sentence? Is she saying that they're equals?
She criticized Hamas.
But so the reason why I bring that up is, if anyone had suggested that they were in favor of the extermination of Israel as a state, we would know about it. In fact, we'd still be talking about it right now. So that was such a bold-faced lie. And that was disgusting.
And I think there's a chance we would have said something about it because, I don't know, we're not in favor of the extermination of Israel or literally any group.
No.
That's crazy.
I would condemn that. It's like crazy to lie and mischaracterize what the lawmakers actually had to say it's disgusting. And remember, this is the political talk show that the New York Times has characterized as the most important political talk show in America.
I mean, I don't even know if they're wrong.
That's really depressing.
Yeah.
That's incredibly depressing.
You can't read into that some of the things you would like to be able to, like, oh, so it's responsible and well-researched and adds to the discourse. It very often does not do those things. And I get it, they're gonna have a conservative on. They have to, it's part of the format. I don't watch The View, but I'm imagining that the people who watch The View probably even like it. Even if you're not a conservative, maybe you like it. Because it generates some whoopee like looks before going to break. Those are fun, I like them too. But this is the best that conservative America can do, is producing Meghan McCain, who will have an opportunity to talk to Senator Bernie Sanders.
I know.
One of the most important senators in the country. And
she doesn't see it that way, obviously.
I know, obviously, she doesn't care about him. Like, she considers herself to be far more important, obviously. I don't know why, maybe something to do with her birth line or something like that. But she's wasting an opportunity. Like, we've had a couple of, you've talked to Bernie Sanders a couple times. I've talked to him, I think, once. And I talked to him about like follow-up COVID stimulus bills, the likelihood that they'll be passed. And she mischaracterizes the squad to try to pitch them, no matter what, as anti-Semitic. She doesn't care about what they say. It is necessary for her, for people to think falsely that they are anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
And she will try to drag a Jewish senator into condemning them.
You know, I was watching a video of Ben Shapiro's from years and years ago, where he was speaking in front of high school students, actually. And I think the title of the video was something along the lines of 10 rules when debating leftists, right? And what stood out to me about one of his rules was, you need to immediately characterize the person you're debating as the bad guy, right? Because that's what they always do to us. So that's what Meghan McCain's doing there. Like, obviously she's not sophisticated in any way. And so she decides, no, I'm gonna preemptively, with no evidence, refer to these individuals as anti-Semitic and just treat it as if it's a given, and then incriminate Bernie Sanders for emboldening them. That's what that was all about. It wasn't just about mischaracterizing progressive lawmakers. It was also about transferring blame based on a totally false premise onto a progressive senator that she hates. She doesn't like him, she doesn't respect him. I mean, bringing up how we would handle an interview with him is honestly moot, because we actually have some interest in what he has to say. She has no interest. She just wants to antagonize him. And like, look, how much of a joke is it when you start an interview with Senator Sanders? You're the godfather of socialism. Or the squad. No, she's like, you're the godfather of the squad. Like, how do you say that with a straight face?
The whole thing is just,
you are hyper socialist. You were talking about socialism.
What does that even mean?
You were talking about socialism before socialism was even cool.
You're a hipster socialist. Yeah. It's like, okay, you've been doing this I've been doing this for what feels a very, very long time. You've been doing this for at least half, again, as long as me. We've had to sit with a lot of people try to do this. I will first of all let you know there's only about 1 billion more difficult jobs. But that said, you have to at least have some interest in the material, and you can tell when someone doesn't know anything. When you use these vague, generic things like godfather of the squad, the both siding of well, they have their squad, they've got Marjorie Greene and Lauren Boebert, same thing, and they're more to the left of you. Just in general, like on what issues? In what particular ways? I don't know, she certainly doesn't. Just in general, there's just one line and you're on that. That's all. It's just such shallow political analysis. You're hyper progressive. What does that mean?
No, hyper socialist.
Hyper socialist.
You were talking about socialism before it was even cool.
He's an American socialist. He is not in any objective sense a hyper socialist. Okay?
What's a hyper socialist?
I don't know. It's like a socialist who's like so excited to nationalize things that he's like, I guess, I don't know. It doesn't mean anything. And she's taking up crucial time on the most important talk show in America.
Political talk show in America.
That's true.
Get it right.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.